Peace. What's going on, family? It's your brother Naheem, BKA Lord Abba, aka Mr. Just the Facts. We're doing our weekly episodes with our sister Tamara Johnson-Shealy, our first ADOS reparationist senatorial candidate. So we just, we're gonna be catching up and have our sister come on and explain some of the things that she's doing, some of the moves that she's making, because she is truly a trailblazer that is blazing a trail for other reparationist candidates to run at the national level. So without further ado, y'all no stranger to our sister Tamara Johnson-Shealy. So introduce yourself, sis, and let them know what's going on.
Awesome. Thank you, brother Naheem and Logic and Ali and Josh. Y'all, thank y'all for having me back on the broadcast. I truly appreciate it, giving me an opportunity to really give an update on where we are with the campaign, what's going on. You know, every day I wake up and this is what I do. I go to bed and this is what I do. I mean, all day, every day, I am giving this 110%, all my time, all my life. But we are, how many days away, Naheem? You probably could tell me quicker than I could think about it. Like last time I checked, we were 29. We're closer
20,
now.
Oh yeah, we're definitely closer. Maybe 25. If my math is correct, 25 or 26. So
yeah, we're getting close, y'all. November 3rd. So this morning I started out picking up yard signs. Once I picked them up, I was dishing them out. Had 2 or 3 drops this morning where people wanted, 5-6 yard signs. So I was leaving yard signs, leaving flyers. We got a big box of flyers because we ran out, guys. We are 40,000 plus flyers strong. Like, let me say that again. 40,000 flyers strong across the state.
No, I hear you.
So we are not playing. We're not playing. I know we're in a COVID season. I know times are dangerous, but this is ADOS. This is, we live in, we have to keep going even in fear, so I can't be afraid. I got my mask right here. I keep it with me.
That's right.
Got my mask, got hand sanitizer. So, I mean, I try to social distance, but I got to stay out here on the campaign trail, brother. I don't know any other way to do it. Our resources are very low. So, guys, you have to continue to donate. We're just too close to get to the end. I got word that there's an opportunity for me to go around and go back into these rural areas and pass out flyers and get to know people. If I can get back on the campaign trail around rural Georgia, that would be great. We actually just don't have the resources. So if we can come up with it, I'll be more than willing to hit the trail back in South Georgia hard like I was, RVing and getting out there and going into these communities, because that's really our strength. I mean, we can't afford media to the extent that, a lot of these big metro areas, brother, these metro areas, it costs like well over $100 a spot. Like for one radio's 60-second radio commercial, brother, it's over $100. Like I've been quoted 125, 150 for one 60-second radio spot. Now imagine if we did that 3 times a day for the next 20 some days. Let's do the math. So, it costs for us to do big media, but hell, we can get on the ground and we can work. So that's where I'm focused, brother.
Definitely. So, let's just get into some basic questions, right? What would you like to do just as a Georgia resident? What would you like to do for Georgia while you're in the Senate? We know the broader reparations claim for ADOS, and we can touch on that in a second. But as a Georgian, what are some of your concerns that you would like to address and push as a senator in the U.S. Congress?
Yeah, healthcare, brother. You know what? I meet so many people that can't go to the doctor, don't have health insurance. Like having adequate healthcare for all Georgians, having Medicare for all. That was Bernie's platform, making sure that every person can go to the doctor. Remember, I told the story that I sprained my ankle down in Macon, Middle Georgia this past summer, and I went to the doctor. I don't know if I told this. Did I tell y'all this story? I went to the doctor, and when I got there, I had to pay I have insurance, right? My insurance is alone, just my insurance is $500. That doesn't include my family. My part of it is $500 a month, right? And I'm relatively healthy. But when I went to get my ankle checked at the orthopedic, when I got there, because I didn't meet my deductible, I still had to pay out of pocket. So I had to pay for the visit. And the brace that I needed for my ankle was not covered by the insurance. So I had to pay for that too. So before I left there, I had to give those people $300. I'm like, damn, I don't have $300 to give y'all, but I know I got to give it to you. And, you know, just having, and I got insurance. So imagine people who don't have insurance, who can't go to the doctor when you get sick. So healthcare is a huge, that's, you know, that's really at the top, healthcare. And raising the minimum wage. I mean, brother, I meet so many people that tell me they work these little gig jobs, whether it be Uber Eats, you know, Lyft. They doing these little gig jobs just to make ends meet. In addition to having a full-time job, you working 50, 60 hours a week just to survive. So we must raise the minimum wage. You know, Georgia's like $7.25. I mean, you cannot survive off $7.25. You cannot. You got to work 24 hours a day just to make it.
That's right.
So, healthcare and raising the minimum wage. You know, Georgia is you know, people want to survive and people want to be able to go to the doctor. So I think those are the top two that I could say right offhand. Like, you know, I definitely want to address that.
Definitely. So what about, you know, tell us a little bit about, from your vantage point, now we get to reparations, right? We know that that's the main agenda. That's why I asked you the question outside of the agenda, because I don't want nobody to purposefully get it confused. So tell us a little bit about ADOS life and the need for reparations, right? Well, from your experiences and the things that you've seen growing up and what you see now, even with healthcare, et cetera, talk to us about what reparations looks like to Tamara Johnson-Shealy insofar as ADOS is concerned.
That's a great question. And I'm gonna take it from two perspectives. When I moved to Atlanta, I was 21 years old, and you know, I knew I was coming here and I was gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna tell you, when I first got to Atlanta, my car broke down like maybe a few days after I got here on 285. Like, I broke down on 285 time I got here. But I was like, I don't care what happens to me. I'm determined to stay, because I knew, honestly, I didn't have anything to go back to. I love my family, but I knew that I had to really get into a space and a place to really grow. So when I moved here, I was determined to buy a home. And I bought a house, brother, before my mother bought a house. When I got here, I said, I'm gonna work hard, because I'm gonna buy a house. And then within 2 years, I was a homeowner. I bought me a little small condo out in Stone Mountain, little townhouse. And the white lady that sold it to me, this is the story. The white lady that sold it to me was the last white person to leave that neighborhood. This is when Stone Mountain was becoming black. Because when I moved here, that part of Atlanta was still relatively more white, and then we started to migrate more and more away from the city, and Stone Mountain was becoming more and more black. So in that neighborhood where I bought, she was the last white person to leave. And when I bought that townhouse, I was so excited. You know, I got my first piece of property, and then, brother, I realized that my neighborhood, we don't have no lights. Now I'm 22, 23 years old, but we don't have no street lights in my neighborhood. You know, it's certain things that was going on. So, you know, so I started, that's a part of where my advocacy came from. So I was going around to my neighbors trying to get a petition up to get lights in our neighborhood, because we didn't have no lights over there. You know, and it started to be kind of dangerous, because it became more renters, and it became a much blacker. It was all black at this point, just renters. But that's part of my ADOS story, because the blacker my neighborhood got, and our people were struggling and suffering. I knew when I started having kids a few years after that, I had my first son and I had my second son. And I realized I couldn't even raise my kids in the house that I could afford to live in. I could afford to live here and raise my children, but I knew that I couldn't send them to the schools in my own neighborhood because the schools were just so, neglected, just not parental involvement, just not the schools were just horrible. And I knew I couldn't raise my kids in a neighborhood that I could afford to live in and wanted to live in and wanted to see change and wanted to be an activist in my community and change things. I couldn't even afford to live there. I mean, I could afford to live there, but I couldn't afford to raise my children there because I'm a single parent and I really can't, have my kids in certain environments. I'm really trying to give them a better life. So I had to leave my little townhouse and move into a white neighborhood, into an apartment that I could barely afford just to have an education for my children. So that's just a part of my ADOS life. The things we have to do just to have opportunities. So what reparations means to me, to kind of bring this whole story full circle, reparations to me is an opportunity for us to fix our neighborhoods. Hell, my neighborhood should have had lights. My car was broken into in my neighborhood because it was so dark around there. My car was broken into. I didn't always feel safe, so I want to see reparations where, we can, if you're a homeowner, hell, you can fix up your home. You can put some lights on the outside and we'll have resources to fix up my home and help in my neighborhood. So that's that's one of my ADOS stories.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of those accounts we share as America's descendants of slavery. And, somebody said they ought to be glad that we only want reparations and not revenge.
Okay, that's the God in us. That's the God in us, right?
That's right. So, yeah, I think that, people need to understand that having such a candidate with such a platform as our sister has, it really puts us in a unique position. I was telling the sister, she's going to go down in the history books. I don't care what happens. The history is going to note that in the 21st century, a reparationist ran on a platform of reparations for the U.S. Senate. And when those Senate seats and House seats begin to be filled by reparationists, your name is going to be at the forefront. So, I'm glad to be and honored to be a part of making history right now. So I definitely want you to keep up with what you're doing. And we got Brother Josh in the building.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, sis. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I've been out all day campaigning.
Hey, you got your uniform on. I see you.
Yes. It's been working all day.
I see. Hey, salute to you. So I wanted to ask you about your ADOS registry plan.
So my undergrad is in computer information systems. And the first thing that they taught us, how data is king. Your data is king. It's like gold. It's like money. It's your currency. Like they drill that in. So for us to create a registry that says, I'm ADOS, you're ADOS, Naheem's ADOS. Like when we have that kind of concrete data and we can say your children are ADOS, so we can, that is so important. And we don't want to put, my fear, is putting that in the hands of a state like Georgia. We already see what Georgia does with voter files, right? I would be scared to see what they would do with something as sensitive and as important as our ADOS ancestry, our lineage in data and documented. So that is something that we have to be mindful that must be housed in the federal government. So that is the registry. I believe that's what you're talking about, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our database that says who we are. We were property. We're not a lost people.
Definitely. You
Yeah,
got any more questions, Brother Josh?
oh yeah. So man, it looks like you've been getting it in. How is COVID really affected how you're moving and affected your platform?
Well, I think honestly, back in like February, but my younger son got really, really, really sick. My child was sick for like 2 weeks. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, when I think back on how sick he was, and I'm pretty sure it came through my house, because my older son, who doesn't really get sick, got a little sniffly, and he was, drinking teas and, trying to address it before anything came on. And this is before we knew what COVID was. And I felt it come on me a few times. So I think it's honestly been through my house. So I think the fear of it, I'm careful, but I think I'm not fearful. I don't want to be, and I don't want to be afraid, because that's not God. The spirit of fear ain't God. So I don't want to be scared. So I'm very mindful, because I come from the beauty and barber industry, and the first thing they taught us was health and safety. So I know sanitation, I know proper hand washing, so I have these skills that I've been trained with, because I've come from the beauty and barber industry. So I know how to be careful. And when I own my own salon, that was the thing I sold, was safety. I mean, I could do the bomb nails, my staff, we could do the bomb nails, but I'm telling you, what I sold was safety. People felt safe with me. So I've translated all of that into this COVID season with me campaigning. I just try to be mindful. I really try to be mindful. Make sure I got my mask on, make sure I'm trying to, social distance. Even when I meet people that don't have on masks, I try to, I'll find myself backing up as they're talking. I might be backing up, just let's get a little space in between us. So I'm just careful. And I know I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice not to get out here and do this. I mean, I don't quit. That's one thing about me. And you can see from my other races that, coming out the gate in 2014, 37%, coming out the gate in 2016, 43.8%, knowing in 2018, I'm about to take it, so I don't quit. You're going to take me out before I quit. So I'm committed to this.
That's one of the things that I admire about you, sister. Your fight is, it is just commendable. I said the last time that you were on, I see how, by watching your Instagram page and watching your Facebook page, I was like, that sister is out there hustling. She is not playing about this election, and she has her whole heart and soul into it. And I love that. I love a fighter first and foremost. So I see you fighting, and it's inspirational. It is very, very inspirational, which is why we want to bring you to the family, so that they could hear your story and hear what you're doing out there on the campaign trail, about your day. What other things that you had going on today insofar as campaigning was concerned?
What else? I've just been driving. Atlanta though I've been from Covington, Atlanta. So Covington all the way out 20 to back into southwest Atlanta. So and moving around Atlanta in traffic is that's just a lot in itself. But I've done it. I did it all day today. I've been driving all day, all day. Like I said, getting signs out, putting signs, out in some places where I saw, I could stick a sign. I picked up another big box of flyers. Like I said, we're 40,000 plus flyers in across the state. Getting on the ground is what we have to do. I went to the post office and mailed out boxes. We have foot soldiers that are people that, are committed to passing out flyers in their cities and their towns. We got a lot of foot soldiers. So I just don't believe we can quit. Yes, we can't quit. We 20 some days away.
Me and my daughters were at a protest last week handing out flyers. So I already know. I'm there with you, sis.
And guess what, though? Here's something I learned, too. Was that Josh?
Yeah, I had a question, but go ahead. Go ahead first.
I'm gonna tell you what I learned, that a lot of people that I ask, because I always ask, my first question is, have you voted yet? That's my first question, because, you know, just to kind of feel them out and, you know, let them know that I'm not approaching them trying to sell them anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, have you voted yet? And I'll usually kind of hold my hand out and hand them a few flyers. I don't never give anybody one flyer. I'm gonna give you 2, 3, 4, 5 flyers. I'm gonna give you a stack. And then if they say, yes, I voted, I was like, oh, did you miss me? And kind of like break the ice.
That's right. That's
kind of break the ice a little bit. And then if they haven't voted, then I'm like, oh, well, I'm Tamara. Nice to meet you. And then if there's somebody that can receive a reparations message, I tell them I'm the boldest, blackest candidate on the ballot. Fact. I said, I got reparations on my agenda. If I feel like they're gonna receive that, I go all the way in, in. And I can tell you that what I found from just talking to people, because I talk to people in the grocery store. I mean, every time I go in the grocery store, anytime I go anywhere, I'm walking in with a stack of flyers. Everybody is a target for me.
That's right.
You go get some flyers with an S.
That's right.
So what I found though is the older people that I approach, I probably say more than half of them have already voted. But the other side of that, our age guys and younger, hardly none of them have voted. That's right. That's right. So I see so much opportunity, and and then when I tell them about reparations, it's a wrap, because it's like this generation, they ready for it. They know about the older generation. When you say reparations, they're like, they don't really believe. That's right. So me trying to convince them about reparations, trying to convince them about my candidacy, it's kind of like, we're gonna lose those votes. But the young people, when I talk about reparations and I talk about this agenda, they get it and they be like, yeah, I got you. So that energizes me, knowing that, we still have a base of people that are looking for somebody like us. That's looking for us. That's right. That's right. Brother Josh, you had a question?
Wow, sis. No, you know what's crazy? I don't really even have to ask my question. I was gonna ask her, what are some of the main things that people are saying when you talk to them, and how do you engage them with the conversation around reparations? So she pretty much already addressed that, Yeah,
I try to ask my question. I try to feel them out, Josh, because everybody can't receive it. Like, it was this man, though. I was driving, I was taking a white lady, wanted a sign. I'm telling y'all, when I tell y'all we got some white allies, we got some white allies. White lady wanted a sign. I was driving down her street, noticed a white neighborhood. So I look over, I see this brother on the lawn with his dogs. Y'all, I stopped in the middle of the street. He was like, "It's a car behind you." I waved and told that lady to go around me. I stopped in the middle of the street, got out, and I was like, "Brother," I said, "Do you mind if I give you my card and introduce myself?" And of course, I had a stack. You don't get one card, you get a stack, brother. I handed him the cards, and he was like, "Okay." And then he looked at it, and he looked at me, and I said, "Look at the first word." And he said, "All right." That's right. That's right. So we're well received. And see, this is the work of the movement. We got to continue to educate people on reparations and what it is, and being a reparationist and what it means to be ADOS. This has to precede me, because if the work that you guys are doing, when this work is done, it opens the door. I'm prayerful. Like, I know that candidates coming behind me gonna see all the stuff that happened to me, and you know what? We family, and at the end of the day, we're gonna hug it out. We're gonna love it out, and we're gonna keep moving, because we still got to get to Washington. Whether I go or whether other people go, it don't even matter. We still got to get this message to Washington. So I'm just hopeful that other candidates will see the work and build upon it. Build upon what this foundation that's being laid. We'll have, like I said, we'll have good data. We'll know what worked, what didn't work, where we could do better. Whatever happens, we're going to learn a lot from this experience. So I pray it's a victory, but whatever happens, it is a strong foundation for us to build on. That's right. That's right. So I've already expressed that I wanted to make my run up. I'm thinking about it anyway, moving back to New York City. And, watching your run really has inspired me, Brother Jacory. Y'all's definitely, just having y'all on the platform as well, but your run in particular, because it was a real
mountain to climb, and you came with your boots and your mountain climbing gear. It was like, this mountain, excuse me, and started climbing. So I'm very, very inspired by your advocacy and your work, and I see success. I see success either way. Conscious Funk in the chat said this woman is a true meaning of reparationist, and people need to understand that. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be moving in this political space as reparationists, and I know that that's what we here at Be the Power are dedicated to. We are dedicated into moving, and I don't even want to use the word infiltrate because that means we're trying to sneak in or come through a back door. No, we're coming bold with I am a reparationist t-shirts on right through the front door to let it be known that we're here and we're jumping on these ballots. So make way, because we are coming until we get justice, period. Until we get justice. And that's what reparations is. Reparations, pure reparations for America's descendants of slavery, is justice. So I know you've been out all day. If you have any closing words that you want to say before you go, I know you're probably hungry, want to eat, lay down, rest. If you have any closing words you want to say to the family.
Yeah. I just want to tell you how much I love you, ADOS family. Like I say, no matter what, we still family. You don't get to pick and choose your family. Like, it's people in everybody's family that you might not get along with, but guess what? Don't mess with them. You know what? Don't mess with you. They still my family. They might do something, they might not, but that's still family. And I just want to tell all my ADOS family, I love you. No matter what, we're going to get through this. We're going to get on the other side of it. We're going to learn from it. We're going to grow from it. And I'm just proud to be a part of this moment in history, as you say. I just want to share one quick thing. I know we got about 3 minutes left, but I want to share a letter. I know y'all can't see it, but I'm gonna try to hold it up. Can't really see it, but this is a letter. I have beauty, those of you that don't know, I come from the beauty and barber industry, and I've been doing advocacy where I watch policy nationally that affects the beauty and barber industry. We advocate for our professional licensure and health and safety standards. So we're advocates for our industry, just like we're advocates for ADOS. I'm an advocate for my industry, the beauty and barber industry. So this letter is one of the letters that I had some professionals out of the state. I have a lady up in Washington State. We have a couple people up in Ohio. There was somebody else. There was a few more people. I can't call them off the top of my head, but they were writing letters to salons and barbershops here in Georgia to let them know that our senior advocate, which is who I am for the beauty and barber industry, was on the ballot, and to tell salons that to make sure that the professionals in the salon know that I'm running, and tell their customers and their family and their friends. So we were spreading the word. My industry has been helping me even behind the scenes to spread the word to salons and barbershops around the state about my candidacy. So I just want to give a shout out to let people know that I'm not a lone ranger. I'm doing this with those of you that are in ADOS, and I'm doing this with the beauty and barber industry, and then the people that have supported me in my runs prior. This is my 4th run for office. In 2016, I got over 32,000 votes. That was a presidential year in my district. So that was a lot of people that voted for me. So my name is not an unknown. My ex-husband actually ran for office in Gwinnett, last name Shealy. So he ran for office and he got over 140,000 votes. So Shealy is not even a strange last name for Gwinnett County, which is one of the largest counties in Georgia. Maybe the largest next to Fulton, but it's definitely one of the largest counties in Georgia. So I just want you to know that I'm not dead weight for anybody that thinks that, or this is not a winnable race. It is. We're in a different kind of season, and I think we have played this game relatively well with the resources that we have. Like I said, I've been invited to come back out over the next 3 weeks, back around South Georgia, and really stomp in some major areas and get in front of a lot of people. And if we can come up with this money, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
That's
so
right.
Please go, if you can, cash out me at the Tamara for Georgia. Send me a donation on the website. But please continue to donate, guys. It adds up and it is working. And we got 20 some odd days. I don't know, Naheem, you got to tell me the exact number. I just know I'm out here.
It's, I believe it's 25, if my calculation is correct. About 25 more days. Make sure, you know, if you can, support our sister. She really needs our assistance. I know that we over at Be the Power will be making a nice donation on top of what we've been doing with passing out flyers and just making people more aware of this candidate. I was supposed to have the sister on Sanetta's channel Monday night, but Sanetta is Sanetta, and knowing Sanetta, he probably just forgot the whole thing. I'm surprised he ain't hit me at 10 o'clock like, Lord Abba, the sister's still coming on. Like, what? So, but hopefully we can get you over there as well and get you on a much larger platform so to give you more exposure. And I just want to say thank you, sister. Keep up the fight. We are here with you 1,000%. You have gained a lot of supporters over the past couple of weeks, and we're rooting for you, sis. We are rooting for you because we rooting for us. Period.
Yeah, it ain't me. It's we, it's us, it's this is our time, this is our movement, this is our campaign. I'm out here, just doing my part, but I'm not alone. And I want to say I love you and I appreciate you all. So thank you, brother, for giving me an opportunity tonight on the broadcast. Thank you,
sis. Thank you for coming through.
All right, thank you guys. Good night.
All right, good night, sis. All right, family. So what we're gonna do is we're going to stream the vice presidential debate at 9 o'clock. So y'all look forward to that video. And as usual, we'll be giving our commentary. And we get the way in BTP style. You already know. And with that, I'll say peace.